years old, I have decided to move to Turkey, Antalya for my education. And as you already know, I'm a graduate of Antalya Bilim University. I have studied tourism and hotel management, and I graduated in 2019. I graduated as the first student of my department, and I can say that I'm an extrovert. I really love people, and most probably a happy person.
Yes, I agree. Okay, what about you, Mert?
Hi everyone, I'm Mert. I'm from Antalya, 28 years old. I am the second graduate of the Bilim University. We were classmates with Anna from prep school, and since then I am her best friend. I am in tourism industry for almost 10 years. I was working in different positions. Right now I'm not working. I'm looking for new opportunities. Season is coming, and in the future I would like to run my own hotel. And while I'm doing it, I would like to promote Antalya as much as I can. Thank you.
Okay, great.
I just wanted to mention, sorry, I forgot. I work as the product manager of Milino Travel and Event Couturier. I'm sure nobody heard about this company yet because we are a startup. Thank you. And hopefully in the next 1 or 2 years, you will hear about us more.
Yeah, and want to work there.
Thank you.
Okay, Anna, why did you choose to study in Antalya, and why Antalya Bilim University?
So this is actually a very, very long story, but I can say that it was meant to be. In Moldova, I studied in a Turkish high school. As you know, the Turkish government has their schools around like 25 countries abroad. So I was student in the one in Moldova, and I knew that I wanted to study tourism, so I made my research of universities that provide education and tourism. I found at that time Antalya International University, and I mean, it's a great place to study tourism. I applied, but there have been a lot of obstacles, like the contract fees, and then I at the end decided that I'm just gonna stay in Moldova. But then at the end of the day, in the timeline of like 2 days, I got accepted, I got my school paid, and I was sent to Turkey against all odds. So long story short, it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was a luck for us.
It was and luck for me. I feel blessed every day that I had the chance to come and study here.
Oh, it's so nice. Okay, Mert, I'm not asking this question to you.
Are you sure?
Okay, this question is for both of you. Did the university support you during the internship process when you were a student? Okay, first Anna.
So I want to say that I'm a very independent person and I like to go ahead of everything and everybody. So if we are talking about getting my internship, my 2 internships, I kind of got ahead of the bus and found my own internships, but this was only thanks to the fact that our university has prior established partnerships and has established grounds to that. So for example, I would have never most probably gotten an internship at Rixos Hotels if school didn't have a partnership. You know, it would have most probably been very difficult. Or I got my management shadowing program also by myself because I was abroad and I was getting in touch directly with those Gurbey. So the school wasn't really involved. But again, I would have never gotten there if it wouldn't have been for the university that firstly established the connection and the grounds. So I can say that the school was involved and helped me in an indirect way, we can say. But it was definitely thanks to all the partnerships and work that our faculty has done prior to that.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Mert?
I agree with what she says. Because of the school's partnerships, we were really lucky to be able to find some internships. But besides this, our teachers were always supporting us to find some new opportunities, especially not for Antalya, but in the whole Turkey. Like when I was about to do my first internships, we had opportunities to go work in Istanbul, for example. And I really regret that I missed the chance to do my first internship in Four Seasons. It was mentioned by one of our lecturers. I forgot which teacher.
And if for myself, for example, school wasn't directly involved, I have so many friends and teammates, classmates that really had great opportunities because the school helped, and there is no discussion in how much the school encourages and how much importance do they give to the internship. And that's great and amazing because it's so necessary.
Yeah, I agree about it. It is very beneficial for us because it is compulsory. However, we might be a little bit angry about it because we are using our summers, you know. But in the end, we are seeing that it is really efficient for us, actually.
Yeah.
So apart from internships, I know that you both been in a process of shadow management. What do you think about it? What have you learned in that process, Anna? And where did you do it? You can mention that too.
So if I start speaking about my whole management shadowing experience, we would most probably have to be here until 5 a.m. Next day. But long story short, I have done my internship at Tuvana Hotel as a general manager assistant. We were three, me, my classmate Victor Kuropatkin, and our friend from business department Ali Sofa. It was an amazing, life-changing experience. This is a boutique hotel that also has 3 boutique restaurants. And why this was a unique experience? First of all, because you work in the boutique business. This is totally different and opposite of the corporate world, and you get to touch the things you would have never touched while working in a resort or 5-star hotel. So in the boutique business, generally, you don't have people for a certain tasks. You most of the time have people who are multi-purpose. Because, for example, at the time in the office, we didn't need to have a team of, let's say, 20 people, different for HR, different for marketing, different for sales, because it's so small. So we have had the chance to be accountants, we have had the chance to be sales people, we have had the chance to take care of the digital marketing, of everything. We got the chance to touch everything one by one. Other than that, we got to be in direct everyday contact with the general manager of the place. That would allow us to join his meetings, that would educate us after his meetings, share experiences, explain things like communication, stress management, how you should speak with what type of people, and so on and so forth. So I'm so happy I did it and that I got the chance to work in the place where I worked. It taught me stress management, in general, time management. So I definitely recommend trying it. If it's even going to be a bad experience, what you will learn is the stuff you don't want to do in the future as a manager. If you get a good experience, you will learn and also have a lot of great memories out of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree about the boutique hotels as well, because I don't know if you know, but thanks to Mert, I worked in Kasasur, and in there we were the same. Like we were doing everything there.
It has its negative sides to it, obviously, but it does have so many other positive sides.
Definitely, like, because in 3 months I had more experiences than everybody else because I was doing everything. Like in the mornings I was giving breakfast, and then I was a front office employee, then I was cleaning the rooms.
And
So,
that's
yeah,
a
I
great
agree.
experience you will never ever have the chance to get somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And what about you, Mert? What did you learn from shadow management?
If you would ask me this question 3 years ago, I would say I hated my shadow management and I would say I learned nothing. It was a waste of time. But 3 years later, the last season, I realized that I learned a lot of things. The most important two was for me cost control and event planning. At first, I applied to all of the departments for the shadow management interview. And in my heart, I wanted to be in front office because I already had experience in the other departments. But thanks to all Russian speaking classmates, they all filled the positions and they didn't need me in front office or guest relations. So there was only F&B department who was interested to work with me. Since it was my only chance, I had to say yes. Otherwise, I was going to drop the class and such stuff. But I tried to convince myself that even I did this before, I can learn many new stuff because now I'm working with a professional manager who can show me the way, who can teach me some new stuff. And at the end, as I mentioned, the two major things that I learned was cost control and event planning. Later on, I was able to use those things on my next career, and I was able to bring more profit to my company. So I'm glad now.
Mhm. And would you like to work in the F&B department again?
It's not in my future list yet.
Yeah, you learned that one as well, I think.
But you never know.
You never know.
Yes. Okay, another question. Today, can you implement the things that you have learned in the university in your work life? Anna?
This is something we were also discussing with Mert, and from my side, it's a yes and a no, but more of a yes. And as we all know, going to university is so much more than just going to class and learning theory, especially with the fact that our school focuses so much of giving us different type of education, like mandatory internship, opportunity of management shadowing, opportunity to meet with managers of the biggest chains of hotels in Antalya and in general in Turkey or sometimes in the world, planning field trips, assigning assignments such as video editing or creating posters in Photoshop that actually looked ridiculous to me. I was like, why would I need to learn Photoshop to design a poster? Let's just pay somebody to do that. But students are most of the time broke, so you take and you do that. So I can say that it's like a bouquet of skills that you acquire in this time. First of all, you form as a personality, you grow, and university definitely gives a great basis to the world of tourism. The world of tourism is so huge and different that there is no chance you can exactly learn what you would be working in later. So I can say that it gives you a very good basis. What it gave to me, it gave a very good basis. It gave me great opportunities, but the other 50% of your success is, of course, your own hard work, desire to succeed, And I can definitely say that I wouldn't want to take away my experience in the university, not even 1 second. I never think that I have lost my time, even though if you ask the teachers about me, they all know me. They will say that I had the worst attendance in the university, and they used to hate me for that. However, because I was also working full time at the same time, I never thought that I'm wasting my time to go to class, but I was also focusing on many things parallel to my studies. That's why I'm really glad I got my education, and I think it's crucial if you want to be a professional in tourism, and never listen to anybody who tells you, oh, you studied tourism, huh? That's like the easiest thing to do. That's not true. And love what you do and be proud of what you're doing. And let's see in 10 years who laughs at who.
I agree. I think this speech gave motivation to all of us. What about you, Mert?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah,
It's like what I learned from the school,
yeah,
basically.
can you implement the things that you learn in the university?
Okay. First of all, I would say thanks to Demet Hoca, I learned a lot of stuff on Excel. I never imagined that it's gonna be so important and useful, especially in front office positions, and both for food and beverage department as well. As I mentioned before, like cost control, all these lists you have to calculate. But besides that, we all can have the information, theoretical information, just by not going to school also. The school helped me to socialize, and it helped me to get to know more people, more types of personalities, both foreign and local people. So I was able to communicate in different ways to different people. That's one of the biggest importance effect of the school. And the second one, on my last year, thanks to Caner Hoca, I was invited to work in faculty during my last year, and I was able to have a small taste of what is academic life in tourism. And this really encouraged me. So if my future plans will be succeed, I want to involve in academic career as well.
That would be great.
That's really cool.
Hopefully.
So for the people who are from first grade, maybe Mert will be your teacher one day. Who knows?
Poor guys.
Hopefully.
Okay, so another question. Actually, Anna answered this already, but again, what are the benefits of working in a boutique hotel than a resort hotel? I don't know, maybe Mert can say something about it more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start, Anna?
I was just gonna say, as I mentioned, I mentioned more of it, that you get in touch with things you cannot get in touch in the corporate hotels, and it's like a small family. You know, it's a totally different feeling. You really feel like you belong in this team. It's more because I also worked in big hotels, 5-star hotels, but as I cannot say there is no problems at all. It's a perfect world, you know. It's not, obviously. It's a business at the end of the day that we all run together. Problems happen, but I never felt so belonging in a place. Like, people really care about you, you know. You really belong in this place. You are loved, and you are somebody. This was really cool, and the experience that you gain, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Okay, what about you, Mert?
For me, the most relaxing thing in working in a boutique hotel was there is less, how to say, bureaucracy, less management, less people who would like to interfere with what you are doing. So you are more free to bring new stuff, you are more free to try new things, you are free to keep in touch with guests more. And it sounds more how to say, sympathetic for me from the view of a guest.
Personalized.
Yeah, personalized. That's what I like most in working in a boutique hotel.
And I think it is giving us the opportunity to be more creative.
Exactly. And even if you fail with something, there is less amount of people that you have to explain and you're sorry.
I agree. Okay, Ersin has one question. Yes, Ersin.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm
happy to see you there. Thank you for your inviting. I want to ask, what are the negative sides of working in boutique hotel? Because it's just 6 rooms. It's an easy work. Can I learn it? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Ersin.
I can start if that's fine. So
yes, I always wait for you.
Casa Sur has 6 rooms and we have 42 rooms in Tovana. We have a few buildings and 3 restaurants. Still, it's a pretty small team. High season, it's like maximum 60 people. But it's majority of the people are people who work there. Like we have people who work there 20 years, 14 years, 7 years, 10 years. So very long term. So negative sides would be that this is not only in boutique hotels, this is a negative side of working in general in Turkey, that you don't get, it's not like a normative working time, right? You always work overtime. Most of the time you don't get paid for the overtime, but when you work in the boutique business, it's a little bit different because the team is so small, you start feeling like it's your own place, your own business, you know? So you start working more without even thinking that you are working more. Another negative part is that you, let's say, come to work as a waiter, but you do 5 other jobs as well, like you take care of the stock, you bring all the drinks to the bar, then you help dry the forks and the knives, then you move tables and chairs if it's necessary, then you go and you help meet the guests if it's necessary. So this multi-purpose type of personnel, I can say. Another negative part, what would be? I don't even know. I think this is the major part, like the fact that you sometimes you don't get paid overtime and your work sometimes as a multi-purpose person. I think that's it on my side.
I agree. I think you are not able to say, this is not my job in the boutique hotel.
You cannot, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
if
what about you?
If you are not good with stress management, then you will be screwed in a boutique hotel because, for example, you are having a check-in, meanwhile your phone calls, meanwhile the bartender asks you something, meanwhile a room wants to have a room change, meanwhile there is an order you have to take, you have to sign some stuff. That's the first negative part. And second one, you are all departments. You are the sales, you are the marketing, you are the guest relations, you are the front office, you are sometimes even security, even housekeeper. If you can't handle all of these, then again, you're gone. And while you're making sure that everything's going smooth, you don't want to leave the shift. You want to wait until the last check-in arrives, so everything's done smoothly. 2 terrible things if you're not good in stress management.
You become one part with the place.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Especially in summertime, I never wanted to leave work.
Yeah, you were living in the hotel, Mert.
Yeah, and as another advantage of boutique hotel, meanwhile I was having this long wait, I was able to have a drink there. In a big hotel, for example, it's like something dream.
Yeah, and we were like friends with the tourists that came actually. Yeah. It was so nice as well. Okay, now Caner Hocam, yes, you have a question.
And lovely to have you on on our meeting. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks for your time. We love Anna and Mert. Thank you very much. And so the immediate question that comes to mind is that how has the pandemic affected the habits and the trends of the travel industry? And what has the effect of the pandemic on travel industry, and how have you been affected by the pandemic as a travel company? It is a good question for Anna. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So first of all, I have not been in the travel industry when the pandemic started. That's why I would like to share my experience. I had different plans and I was going to move to another country. I was going to move to France. That's why I was saying my goodbyes to Vana and to the Gastrovog group. But then the pandemic happened when I did that. So I stayed in Turkey, but I had another job. And I would like to share that working from home was a totally life-changing experience, difficult and very educative at the same time. I really learned how to that it's actually all in our mind, how we set our mind and how we set our things. That, for example, I would live and work in the same space, in the same room, but it all depended on how I set my mind to it. So if I say I work from 9 to 6, I got up and now this is my office. So this is not my living space anymore. So this was something great to learn the time management while you are at home. This is very good opportunity to self-discipline yourself. So there is nobody watching over you. You're your own manager and you have to do certain tasks. So you have to discipline yourself. And then things in my life rearranged and I got back to work, but I'm working with Özgür Bey, but we have opened a new project, as I mentioned, Milino Travel and Event. And I can say how it affected us as a tour operator and travel agency. Positively and negatively. There is a lot of positive sides to it. Of course, the negative sides that the borders are closed. We have always to rethink our strategies instead of, for example, focusing on our services in Turkey. We have to always think of other destinations as a plan B, plan C, plan D if things are not working. So it's kind of living in a constant I cannot say stress, but a very strategic set of mind that you always need to have more than one plan to not fail. From the positive side, it only gives you free time to work on what is not done right yet and only to grow more and more. So even though we are a small team at this moment, the fact that we have no guests at this moment in Turkey, it gives us the space to finish all of our brochures, for example. It gives us the chance to expand in different destinations. Let's say we take Dubai and we are looking now for DMC companies there. You know, this is something that requires a lot of time and a lot of involvement, and most probably in the season, not most probably in the season, you cannot do this kind of things because there is no time. So I can say that, of course, it's very sad. Things are not going as we had planned, and we were planning by this time to have amazing thematic tours in Turkey and to show the guests a different type of Turkey and give a different type of personalized service that nobody has been doing before. We're not, but that's not big of a deal. When the time is right, things are going to happen. And right now we are only focusing about growing internally and using this time in a smart way for ourselves.
Thank you. And Mert, what about you?
About me, I think my hotel was the one who really got benefits from pandemic. Before pandemic, the majority of arrival guests were from either Europe or States. But as the pandemic started, we like almost 90% the arrival people were from Ukraine or Russia. So like Russian speaker guests. And since we had a homogeneous type of arrivals, we were able to address them with a more accurate percentage. We were customizing our menu, for example, to make the Russian speaking guests to be more comfortable with their sales, with the buyings, because since all the restaurants were closing at the early time, they had no chance to have dinner out, for example. And that was beneficial for hotel to sell dinner to the guests. And the negative part for me, not for the hotel, was we were on pretty low budget. So Beril and I had more than 1 or 2 positions during the shift. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I know.
She had funny pictures, you should see.
Yeah.
One day she's in kitchen preparing breakfast. The other time you see her setting the lights for the wedding, and the next time you see her getting the check-in. We were all
Yeah.
working, multitasking.
I had fun times. Okay, since that you have many experiences during a job interview, what set you apart? What make you special? What can you give advice?
There is so many ideas, and you can Google so many things on the internet about how to be the perfect interviewer and so on, or how to interviewee, how to speak, what to say, and so on and so forth. But I think there is nothing more important than being your authentic and true self, because you are who you are, and people should want to work with you for who you really are, rather than who you want to show that you are or who you want to be. So I think it's really important to be yourself. Of course, you always want to make the best impression. And I think it's very important to not just go for job interviews because that's what you have to do, and because there is no other chance. In your education in the university, you will have a lot of opportunities. So really choose what lights your eyes and what you're really and truly interested about. Because if you really believe in what you want to do, and you really believe that you want to work, let's say in Rixos downtown, there is nothing else you need to do rather than go and speak to them. They will see that light in your eyes, and this is everything that will matter. Of course, there is such things that you should be dressed well. You should speak very confident. You should be very energetic, positive, smiley to give the right impression, right? These are all like very standard things. If you are a very shy, introverted person, prepare yourself in advance. Take some questions, speak in the mirror, answer to them. But outside of that, just be yourself. I think this is the most important part, to be your authentic self and to really show people who you are.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Anna has a consultancy service for job interviews. She helped me a lot.
This is nice.
In
Okay,
my opinion,
Mhm.
for example, at first, you have to convince yourself that you fit for the position. Like, you ask yourself, would you hire yourself for this position? And next, during the interview, they're gonna ask you a lot of questions, and they might seem to you like they're unrelated questions. For example, you apply for a front office position, and they ask your hobby. And you shouldn't say that you like cooking, because it's not a kitchen position. I think it's better to say that, for example, you like cultures, or like you are interested in languages, or like you can say I'm really social person. So it's really good to have a story and like go parallel with all questions. And the most important one for me is when you have this question like, what is your salary expectation? I think the best answer for this is you can say, I want the highest salary for this position. But you have to say this with a confidence, and you should be already like prepared for all the questions. You have to show them that you're really interested. You have some basic knowledge, even if you're not having experiences, that you want to do it. So just don't give numbers. Say that you want the highest salary for this position because you are ready to do everything for this position.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here's another question. In tourism sector, there's no place for biases. So how do you communicate with the people from different socio-cultural structures? Also, for example, Anna, you are a foreigner as well. Did you experience anything like awkward with the Turkish tourists?
Yes, most probably yes and no. It's really, as I don't know, wrong as it may sound. We live in the world, or we live in a man's world, and you can really feel that in Turkey, for example, that as a foreigner and as a woman, I might not have been taken seriously in a lot of situations in my life in tourism, something that is not happening in my current position, and something I'm really, really happy about, for example. But many times in my work, I have to really distance myself. As I mentioned, I love people and I'm very extroverted, but in my workplace, I cannot be very close to people and very friendly because once you lose that professional connection with people, they don't take you seriously and tasks are not being done. Something I would really not want to face in my workplace, but it is the reality. And I think when you are working with foreigners, even not only working, when you are in contact with foreigners and with guests and with people in general, first of all, it's very important to be empathetic and understanding. It's of course very hard, something very hard to do, but it's a very great skill to develop in yourself, empathy and understanding. And then education. You should always educate yourself. If you are working with a certain type of guests, like Mert was saying that they started working predominantly with Russian guests, then you should definitely learn, for example, their food habits, like what do they eat primarily. Something we have been facing in Tivana as an issue, that there is no porridge for breakfast. How is there no porridge in Antalya for breakfast? Like they get so used to the five-star hotels, for example, that always serve it, that they were so mind blown how we don't have it in Tivana, for example, So it's so important to really educate yourself about the different cultures. If you have friends from different cultures, to ask them about this kind of things, like what are your habits? What are specific things in your culture? So it's a constant skill that you're learning, I think, same as all the other ones that you are developing. I mean, there is no way you don't get in touch with people from all around the world when you are in tourism. So I think it's one of the main things that you should pay attention to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you get to know more about different cultures as you work with them. What I learned in Kasasur was, for example, before that place, I never had an idea about vegan food, for example. I haven't even met with vegan person before that work. And after I was able to discover what they like as food, or like what kind of habits they have. For example, they like to wake up early, they like to enjoy sunrise walks and that stuff. I realized, for example, when Turkish guests arrive, they like to have a coffee during the check-in process. Or like meanwhile, a British couple would like to have their check-in in the hotel bar, for example. Meanwhile, Germans would love to hear about the area if you give them any suggestions like you should go there or you can see this, you can do that as well. They would love it. So it's really beneficial to get to know more cultures, and as you get to know them, you know all the tricks about what they like and how to not approach them especially.
Okay, thank you. So, after your graduation, have you considered changing your sector and giving up tourism?
Never.
Never?
Never. The only thing that I have spoken about that I had to change my job because of the pandemic, it was just circumstances, we can say, but I definitely looked at it as a opportunity to try something else. It was mainly customer support, so it's something very actually close to what we do in tourism, because in tourism you're also always in touch with people. It was a great opportunity, but I mean, I always knew that I would eventually go back to tourism, which was a very short period of time, 6 months. I always knew I want to work in tourism. I loved what I did in school. I love what I'm doing, and I would most probably somehow diversify myself in the future because, for example, I'm very interested in event planning. But this also would come as a product out of what I'm doing at this point, and event planning also as part of tourism. So no, I have never ever thought of changing what I do.
Oh, it is nice.
I think for myself, I was born for tourism. Why? Because I really love being tourist, first of all. I like to travel abroad. I like to learn new languages. I'm really interested with the new cultures. That's what I can say. I never thought about changing my sector. Maybe I would change from hotel to an agency, for example. It's still under the tourism umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's understandable. Okay, my last question. What are your future goals right now, considering a master degree or working abroad?
Very difficult to speak about future plans at this point in time, but I can say from my side, the more I work in this industry, the more I understand how everything is so focused, like so niche, you can say, especially what we are doing now with our company. And there is a lot of things, for example, that I want to do by myself, but I don't have the necessary knowledge for that. And this is when I started actually thinking this year that maybe sometime in the future I would definitely look into having a master's. It's just that I'm most probably not ready yet, because I want it to be a very conscious decision and not just because I need a master's diploma. So I would definitely want to see where this project is going to take me, in what exact part of tourism, and where will I be, for example, in 2 years. And I want to do masters in what I will already be doing, just to deepen my knowledge into that and to be better at what I'm already doing. And as of working abroad, I mean, new experiences are always great. Our life expectancy these days is 90 years, so we got a long way ahead of us. We are not at half, we're 25. 100 years ago, we would be at half of our life expectancy, but we're not anymore. So as long as we're healthy and young, I mean, why wouldn't you go and try to work abroad if you have the chance? Definitely. If I have the chance in the future, I would love to.
What about you, Mert?
I had a very straight plan before the pandemic. I was graduated. I completed my military service. I had already experiences both abroad and here in Antalya. So I was ready to have a couple of years journey in United States, because it's obvious like $1 is 8 liras these days. So I thought like if I work abroad for a couple of years, I can have a chance to generate a great capital, enough capital for myself, so I can establish my own hotel. And as I do it, as I'm satisfied with it, then I can start working on my master's. And I specifically want to choose the field of study for destination planning or like destination marketing, because I'm a really huge fan of Antalya, and this city deserves more promotions and more tourist arrivals.
I would say the country in general.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not sure.
Mert is
mainly
a fan
Antalya.
of Antalya.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you think
Okay.
of converting Konya into Las Vegas, then it's fine.
You never know.
Yeah. Okay, that was all from my point. But if we have any questions, you can raise your hand, and if you would open your camera, it would be more efficient for all. Let's wait for a little bit.
Guys, by the way,
while people are still thinking of questions, Mert was saying, somebody that I will share later. There is somebody who is asking.
Okay, Hasip has a question. Yes, Hasip.
Hello, how are you?
We're good.
We're
How are you
fine.
doing?
Hey, man.
Hi. I want to ask, you know Anna, me,
Yes, I remember you. Hi.
and I want to ask what we will do in this summer in this condition in Corona, where our tourism is going.
I don't know. This is the honest answer. Nobody knows, and things change day by day. We were hoping we're gonna open the hotel and the restaurants on the 15th of March, but we are in the 22nd of May, and we still don't know what is gonna happen. So I just think we should be patient and stick to what we believe and to what we want to do, and just do our best in this period of time. I really wish, and all of us wish, that things were a little bit more certain, but there is definitely no answer to where tourism is going. I have no idea, to be honest.
Can I suggest you something?
Yes.
Do you have a LinkedIn profile?
Yes, I have.
Is it updated? Are you an active user?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sure then you might know about the job search part of LinkedIn. Have you ever tried it option? Have you ever tried that option before?
I tried the LinkedIn option also, and I tried like PR, public relation option. But right now, public relation options are more effective, because last year I did internship in Riksha Premium Ballet. So I made some like relations, public relations, and now I know 3 places where can I work in this summer. But I will. There is one branch, I don't know, Paloma.
Paloma Hotels.
Yes, Paloma Hotels, maybe, or maybe
That's a
NJ
good hotel in Manavgat, I think, yeah?
maybe in NJ Bay.
Okay.
Nice. Good luck.
And it is in Camera.
It's a good one. If the
Good
work
luck with
is
that.
not confirmed for you, I suggest you to keep searching LinkedIn job offers.
Okay.
I found the dream job offer for myself from LinkedIn, and it was after a hard work of sending 1,000 job applications, and only 3% answered me back. And one of them offered me a job, so there's always hope, man.
Beril, can I ask something?
Of course you can.
Maybe also Hojam will tell us. Last year I did my internship, so can I do this year can I do job like a normal employee?
I think it should be in the tourism sector if you want to count it as internship. But of course, Caner Hoca can tell you the best here.
Can you tell me, Caner Hoca? Because I know a lot of students asking about it.
Mirza, good to have you on meeting. Thanks a lot for joining us. It is a very important, the second last internship to finish, and after you can start your point. That is a very impressive. Your take a job. I can help you.
Thank you so much.
Not at all.
Hocam, also I would like to say that there is one hotel. A couple of days ago, I had an interview. It's a position for either night shift or reception shift. And the hotel is in Kaş. I had to refuse the offer, but if there is anyone in a need of urgent job, maybe like we can arrange something.
Thank you, Mert.
They provide accommodation, food, and salary with sigorta as well.
Okay, it is good to know. Okay, thank you, Hasip, for your question. Yes, Arsen.
I want to ask, Ana, Mert, what would you like to say about Beril's moderator performance? What would you like to say? Thank you.
Great question. I think, Beril, first of all, I know about the Tourism Society since of its existence since I think I was a freshman, most probably, but nobody took it seriously ever, and we were part of it, I think, even, but we never heard about it. So thank you so much for doing this great job. And Julia was also telling me that you're taking care of it. You're doing a great job. Amazing. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you.
I mean, it's first of all really great as a graduate to see that such beautiful things are being done back at the faculty, and that students are actually joining and taking this opportunity to communicate. And this is, at the end of the day, a type of networking, and never underestimate networking. That's why guys go to all the interviews and to all the field trips where you can take everybody's business cards, introduce yourself to everybody. Antalya's tourism world is so small, you won't even believe it. So I think it's a great opportunity. Thank you so much, Beril.
Oh, thank
we
you.
also expect to hear your graduation speech. Graduation day.
It is in 1 month, I think, right, Hocam? We will see. Of course, I would be happy if you will be there.
Of course.
Yes. Thank you so
will
much
bring
for
champagne.
participating. Thank you.
Yes, Ilya.
Hello, everyone. I'm not going to open my camera. I'm so sorry because
It's okay.
Kemal is here. First of all, I'm really, really happy to see my manager here, Anna. I'm her shadower. She's a former shadower, so I'm a shadower of a shadower. It's weird, yes. And hello to Mert also. My question is actually, now I will graduate in a couple of weeks, and I'm working with Anna, but I was wondering, like,
is she gonna hire me?
Let's talk about it on Monday. My question is, like, is there something you say, like, I wish the university have learned me this, like, I wish I had this class, or I wish I learned this and this. It would be more beneficial for me. Do you think there's something missing for the university, for the former plans of the university? So they can maybe change it. Now that you have been in the industry, tourism industry, for a long time, do you feel like we need to do something different in the university? Thank you so much.
This is such a difficult question, to be honest. I'm gonna say the first thing that came to my mind. I did my Erasmus in Germany, and in Germany they have such a program where you study and you work at the same time. So you are, for example, 3 days, you can call it like management shadowing, but you work like a full-time employee, not full-time, part-time. 3 days you're in school, 3 days you are at work. And parallel to what you are studying, you are working and implementing it in the field. So I think I don't know if it's something possible to do in the current education system in Turkey, but I think this would be something amazing to do. If we are speaking other than that, I mean, of course, there is so many things that we could have said, oh, better we would have studied this, or oh, better we would have studied that. But as I mentioned before, this topic is so vague that at the university you get like the fundament to what you are going to be doing in the future, you know. I think in today's world it would be really cool to get more education on social media management, digital marketing, how to use different social media platforms to promote your product, like how to create Facebook ads and Instagram sponsored stuff, you know, because this is necessary and vital these days to keep your business afloat. Other than that, I think these are, from my perspective, one of the most important things in today's world.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hülya, for the question.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have several, but we don't have time, actually.
If you want, you can ask it, because, yeah, you can ask it if you want.
No, but, Mert, if you want to answer.
Let's try.
Yeah, I think the same question, but for you.
Same question, Mert, sorry.
For me, there was, the social media marketing would be really nice, but apart from this, I wish my classmates used to be more interested or like motivated or like more willing to come to school or like attend the classes or like participate.
Anna, this was for you.
No, it's not for her. Especially not for her, because in class we were like maybe 5 people who are speaking in English or like attending to class, and we both were sitting in front row, so she's fine. Since like nobody's speaking English, or even they don't want to try, it was really, really boring for us, because in Turkish they really have a nice story. They can tell you many stuff. You can learn a lot of things from those people, but they were struggling with English. I wish we didn't have such problems.
I think nothing changed since then.
Yes, I think it's probably the same right now, as in my class also. English is a big barrier, but we should get through it, definitely. Thank you so much for your answers, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
It's nice to meet you as well.
One more question.
Hello, guys. Firstly, thank you so much for this meeting. It's really helpful. And my question is that, like, I come from Pakistan and we don't have a work culture for students there. So because of that, I don't have any experience in any field. So now when I'm searching for internships and they're all looking for experienced people, it's really hard for me to find an internship, especially for Erasmus. I got selected for that. So do you have any suggestions on how to speed up the process, because I have no progress with searching for an internship or something?
I think you need a strong letter of motivation. Even if you have no experience, you have to convince them that you really want to learn this and you will be willing to even sacrifice your time or like other things for this position. If you convince this without experience, you can get the position, I believe.
This is first, and as Mert mentioned before, he sent 1,000 applications, and he is not the only one. I even have on my email a folder where I was saving all of the rejection I was getting when I was looking for a job in France. I was like, when I get my job there, I will count how many rejections I got. I never counted them though. But I would definitely say, give yourself, make it as a daily task. 2 hours, 3 hours a day, look for jobs, apply. No matter how like, oh no, they will most probably not accept me. Never think this way. You never know. Apply. Out of those 1,000 applications that you will do, you will definitely get at least a few replies, but you should be really, really eager to work there, because many of the companies don't just apply for nothing. I mean, accept for nothing. They want you to really, really want to work with them. So I think it's persistence. Very important.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question.
Good luck.
And just believe in yourself. You can do it. We all know it's hard. We all been there.
Yes.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Do we have more questions? Yes. Evla hocam.
Evla hocam.
Hocam merhabalar.
Welcome, both of you. I'm all ears. I was listening to you with joy, pleasure, and okay, it is nice to have both of you here. And good question asked by Julia. That was nice, and your suggestions are noted because these feedbacks from you, it is crucial. It is important for us to improve ourselves, improve the education. So if you have more feedbacks, just please say anytime you want. Maybe not today, but maybe a year later, maybe 5 years later. And I hope you hear your good news constantly. Okay. So I have no question, but I just would like to thank you, and I'm so happy that I see you.
Thank you, hocam.
Thank you. And one of the assignments that I was speaking, that I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna do it, was Evla Hoca's assignment, where we made an interview with was Gürbey for Il Vicino. And actually, I got involved in it more than I even expected. It was so fun to learn how to use an video editing application. And I mean, it's a skill you learn. You never know when you will use in the future. Maybe you will decide to be a blogger and you will start editing your own videos. So I think like software usage would be also something very interesting to do. Like if we're speaking about digital marketing, you should definitely know how to create content for digital marketing. So content creation or Photoshop usage or some other applications for that. Something I think is really needed.
I agree with her.
We also had other feedbacks from other students. Basically, it was all about marketing and improving the current courses or adding more courses. So yes, and for that course, Anna, I was thinking, okay, I know that she can do it, but she's mostly missing. So I knew that we were working at the same time. But about your video, it was unbelievable. I still remember where you were sitting at that class, and your video, it was beautiful, and I watched it over and over again after the course.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I would like to see that video as well.
If Anna lets me, I would love to share.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay, hocam, I'm waiting then.
Take care, both of you.
Thank you. You
Thank
too,
you,
hocam.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, we are on our time. I would like to thank you again. We started our meetings with Mert and we are finishing it with Mert. So thank you.
Is it the
and
last
Anna.
one?
Next week we will have the last ones, but we are like almost finishing it.
For sure, we'll meet you there again.
Yes. And thank you, Anna, really.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You gave us motivation, you gave us recommendations. I think it was like amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm saying good night to all. Thank you for attending, people. So see you next week.
See you guys. Good night.
Try
Bye-bye.
LinkedIn. Try LinkedIn. Motivation letters. Keep trying.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. See
Good
you.
night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye
Beril'cim, congrats. Congrats canım.
Thank you.